ALcot is a Japanese company who develops and publishes erotic visual novels. Never heard of them? Well, we hadn't either until we made a couple of videos of a game of theirs in 2012. The game was My Girlfriend is the President. We were new to this at the time, so the videos weren't very good, but then again neither was the game, so I guess it worked out. Cut to the 12th of January 2016 and we were greeted with this. Yes, ALcot decided that after years of being online they'd hit the videos with a copyright strike, not only removing them from YouTube but leaving a black mark against our channel.
And this isn't a Content ID claim, no, this is a big bad copyright strike. Get 3 of these and your channel is gone, deleted, cast to the winds. Hell, even having just 1 strike puts your channel into bad standing, which locks out a handful of features, like the ability to upload longer videos, live streaming, and even the ability to fight Content ID claims, no matter how spurious they may be. In short, these strikes are not something that companies should just hurl around wildly and should only be used when necessary, but ALcot did. We weren't the only ones hit for having My Girlfriend is the President videos either. We found at least 4 other channels that, around the same time, were hit by strikes from the company. 3 of those channels were unfortunate enough to get suspended because they had full Let's Plays of the game and ALcot issued multiple strikes against them. There's no way to tell how many channels were affected in total, since not everyone would have taken to social media to vent their frustration, but there's certainly a lot less videos of the game on YouTube now, that's for sure.
So at this point we had 3 choices. 1. Accept it and have our channel in bad standing until the strike expires, which takes 6 months. 2. Ask ALcot to rescind the strike. Or 3. Fight it by issuing a counter notification. We opted for the second one to begin with, messaging them on Twitter and through their website, even translating our message into Japanese, so even if the person on the other end didn't speak English, they could at least get the general idea, no matter how much Google Translate might have mangled it. Perhaps predictably, we received no response from ALcot, and not wanting to leave our channel neutered and vulnerable, we issued a counter notification on the grounds that the videos were transformative in nature and weren't competing with the game's market and all that jazz. It's not the most pleasant process as it uses a lot of frightening legal terms like perjury and you have to give them your full name and address. You know, all the info you're trained never, ever to give out on the internet.
That's perhaps the worst thing about this type of copyright strike. It's an instant escalation to making the next step an actual real legal matter. By issuing a counter notification, we're essentially saying that we'd be willing to defend this point in court, which is scary shit over a YouTube video. Honestly, we assume that's the point. They have no intention of ever taking this to court, they just don't want the videos up and this way they can take them down and scare people into not fighting it, rather than, you know, just asking us to remove the video, like a grown-up. So we sent the counter notification and had to wait 14 days to see if ALcot would respond. If they did nothing, then we get the videos back, the strike is removed, and ALcot proved they didn't really care that much and were basically just abusing the system and wasting our time. Oh, and as a fun little side note, YouTube's system for this is completely buggered. We tried several times to send the counter notification only to get a server error on the final stage every time. Eventually we tried accessing the forms using a different browser and not only did it work, but the form was completely different, which is pretty messed up. Also, your entire legal defense has to fit into 250 characters, which if you've ever tried to communicate anything remotely complicated by Twitter, you'll know is a ludicrously small amount. And as a side note to that side note, the actual notice saying we'd issued it disappeared from our YouTube account a few days afterwards, and YouTube never responded when we asked them if it was still standing, leaving us completely in the dark as to its status until the 14 days were up. Doing a bang-up job there, YouTube. So we waited the 14 days, which actually ended up being closer to 18 business days, and ALcot did precisely fucking nothing. So we, along with all the others who fought the strikes, got our videos back and the strikes were removed, making this whole thing a massive waste of time.
And it really was a waste of time. ALcot are the ones that started this by issuing strikes on channels, effectively saying, stop doing that, and to show you we mean business, we'll fuck up your channel just for kicks. And when people called their bluff and challenged them, they did nothing. Making us wait the full 14 business days means they just didn't do anything at all upon receiving the counter notification. They could have retracted the strike since they weren't going to fight it, but no, we had to wait the maximum time the rules allow. And that's the big problem here. Companies like ALcot face no repercussions for flagging videos that they weren't even prepared to fight for. The channels, however, are guilty until proven innocent, and hell, you receive the punishment before you even know what you did. To be honest, we still don't really know why they hit channels playing this particular game at this particular time, since the information we're given on their claim is so minimal. So yeah, even though ALcot are the ones acting like cocks in this story, YouTube's system allows it. YouTube are cock enablers, if you will. And as for one final display of exactly how little YouTube cares about us, the automated email we received saying that our videos were back wasn't even in English, it was in Japanese. Because even when we beat the strike, it still had to be at ALcot's convenience.
We decided to reach out to some of the channels who were also affected by this to see how they felt about it. After all, we got off lightly compared to most of them, and we wanted to get their opinion on the whole affair. We got a couple of responses, and they were, perhaps, not all that surprising. Zero Ryoko said, "The claim was without warning and unjustified, and that YouTube's system was a joke." Dean of DM3003 said, "I feel Let's Plays of games make for great advertisements for people to play the games themselves. The reason why I Let's Play My Girlfriend is the President is because I wanted to show viewers the game and how nuts it is. By blocking the channel and effectively eliminating the videos, they essentially made it less likely for the product to be known and make them look like the bad guy. The fact that my whole channel was taken down is even worse. A simple message saying to take down the videos would have been better."
And that leads into the tricky issue of Let's Plays, copyright, and free advertising. You see, companies have the right to protect their intellectual property, obviously, but it's 2016, and although copyright law hasn't caught up with the times, most video game companies have switched onto the idea that by being lenient with the copyright hammer, they get a ton of completely free publicity from enthusiast fans. Even videos that are negative about a game can still publicise it. YouTube coverage helps them make money. If it didn't, then exclusive brand deals with Let's Players would not exist, but they do, so it does. Even then, a company can just ask a channel to pull a video they don't like, and many channels probably will. Because let's be honest, whether it's fair or not, an erotic visual novel Let's Play is not the hill that you want to die on. It's an imperfect system caused by the media moving faster than the laws that are governing it. But when everyone plays along, it benefits everyone, which is why when a company like ALcot does something like this, it just comes off as short-sighted and petty.
Now, we've all heard this type of story before, whether it be Total Biscuit with Gary's incident, Super Bunny Hop with Konami, Jim Sterling, I Hate Everything, Channel Awesome. This story isn't new, and it keeps happening. And this is all despite YouTube supposedly trying to be better with this sort of thing. However, we felt it was important to show you that for every big channel who gets hit, there could be 100 small channels who are also affected and completely destroyed when companies like ALcot do things like this, and YouTube lets them. Just because a channel doesn't have millions of subscribers doesn't mean it's not important to the people behind them. We know this channel is important to us, and losing it isn't something we want to contemplate.
We really wish YouTube would rethink their system, because although they absolutely need some way of preventing people from just uploading whole episodes of Family Guy or whatever, the current system screws over those with the least power at the whims of those with the most, with seemingly zero punishment for abuse. Which we get quite enough of in real life, thank you very much. At the very least, wouldn't it make sense if when a video is taken down like this, the channel isn't hit with restrictions or suspended until they've at least been able to plead their case? It'd be a start at least.
It would also have been nice if at some point in this whole thing, an actual person from either ALcot or YouTube would have spoken to us. Maybe we'd feel a little more well disposed to either party if we'd actually spoken to another sentient being. It's also, you know, a fucking stressful thing to deal with, and meant that several things we wanted to do with the channel had to be put on hold for over a month whilst all this was sorted.
I guess one concrete thing to take from this is never make videos of ALcot's games, because they have absolutely no qualms about burning your channel to the ground. And even if you can get it back, you don't want the hassle, and they don't deserve the promotion anyway. And where has this gotten them, really? By hitting people with strikes and hurting their channels rather than just asking them politely to remove the videos, they made people actually fight them over this. So now the videos are live again, despite YouTube's fucked up system, and everyone concerned thinks ALcot are a bunch of petty arseholes who don't care if they fuck up someone's hobby or career. And now there's videos like this one, calling them petty arseholes. Didn't exactly go to plan now, did it?
Well, that was a good start to the year, wasn't it? Thank you to Zero Yoko and to DM3003 for the statements they gave us. We really appreciate that. And thank you to you for watching this video. We know it's a little bit more serious than the normal stuff we put out, but you know, when companies do things like this, it's really just an abuse of power, and we don't really have any tools to fight that. So all we can really do is be vocal about it, and hopefully if enough people do that whenever it happens, that maybe YouTube might one day actually do something about it. I don't know. It'd be nice, at least.